Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are well and enjoying yourself and keeping safe. Thank you very much for coming by and watching my stacking and collecting journey. And welcome to the hobby. And in this video, I just wanted to have a chat really and also apologise because I haven't been making content for a couple of weeks now, and that is because been quite ill, losing my voice, and it's only recently that I got my voice back. But did want to have a chat really in this video, and I have been finally went to a coin show, but I'll create another video for that and show you my experience and discuss my experience with that. But here I thought I'd show you what I purchased, some of the purchases that I made. But in this video I just wanted to have a chat about these last few weeks actually, because what I've seen in the UK government is that they hit the self-destruct button. And now today we have a new Prime Minister, Mr. Sunak, and also him is going to bring in a new cabinet with all these people that we already used to, like Dominic Raab, Michael Gove, all these people, even Mr. Sunak himself. He was a former chancellor. And what I see is that it's all going to be the same old rubbish, really. So we've recently, with Liz Truss, had a prime minister that wasn't in the limelight in previous big jobs. Let's say she was in the limelight recently before she came prime minister, but I never heard of the chancellor, which he hit the self-destruct button, and we went into meltdown for 3 days. With the new Prime Minister, Sunak, Mr. Sunak, he's been with the previous government, Boris Johnson. He was a chancellor, and he's originally a banker, really. What I'm trying to get is that bankers always win, and to me, he is the one that will push the central bank digital currency even more. And he is a banker at the end of the day, and with a prime minister as a banker, he's the slogan or the title that always comes into mind is keep them poor. Because if you have that much power, why would you want to give it away? And they all want control at the end of the day, the government. To me, Mr. Sunak is, he's been taunted as a future prime minister since he arrived, really, for the last few years. So, and he was originally a banker, and I believe that he's going to be pushing more and more so for the central bank digital currency. To me, that is quite scary to me. And it just made me think this week and last few weeks that if a central bank digital currency comes into force, our precious metals might be, not as desirable. It will just be a hobby at the end of the day, which is why I'm keeping an eye on stamps. Soon they'll be moving on to digital stamps, and I believe new stamps are coming, not just with the King's Head effigy, but stamps are getting phased out because we're not sending a lot of parcels or letters. Well, we're sending parcels, but not letters with stamps on. Can't remember the last time I've used a stamp, to be honest, apart from just going to the post office and sending stuff away. It's be interesting to see that side of the market, stamps, and if they get phased out and going to digital, what would the collectors of stamps, because I know there are big collectors of stamps, what would their collection be worth? So it'd be quite interesting to see what, in a few years' time, what their collection would be worth, and whether they see it as an investment, because that's why I see this as a hobby, because anything that I buy is just a hobby, and it's what I like to buy. Although because these were bought at a coin fair, which generally, to me, now that I've been, these were relatively cheap, just for like souvenirs and stuff like that. I don't believe these are proof versions or whatnot, of silver, and they're just copper nickel. But I just bought them as souvenir or gifts, or let's say, because, well, I'll discuss it in my next video with going to a coin show. But generally, I thought the prices were a bit high, especially for coin experts anyway, which I wasn't expecting. But I'll discuss all that on a new video. But these coins, they were like in a bin bag or bin box or whatnot, not worth much, and so I purchased them. Because I didn't want to leave empty-handed, but I also purchased some other stuff that I'll show you in my next video. But yeah, this week I just wanted to discuss that, is Mr. Sunak himself as a banker. I don't think it will look good for the silver and gold market, really. If we're having bankers as leaders, bankers should be bankers, and leaders should be, leading our country. But with this banker in place now and leading a country and has all the power, to decide stuff, he was the one that got us into this economy mess in the first place. Not him personally, but like he was like one of the driving force that to get us out of the pandemic and giving everyone free money. And so to me, it's just going to be more of the same, and with more control, I believe. And so this is why I wanted to put this out in a video, is whether you guys think the same. Is the self-destruct button was pressed for the last few weeks, and we now have a banker in place, which I think was all the plan along, was to get Mr. Sunak in himself, and so he can push ahead with his central bank digital currency idea. And I think it's inevitable anyway, but to me that's not going to be, you can't avoid that now, because we have the technology there and we have the government in place now, to push this along, really. And who knows what the future will decide, but I do think the central bank digital currency is coming. And we have a leader in place now, well, in the UK anyway, to push that agenda, because he's a good talker, he's a good banker, I believe. And there's more powerful people at play, it looks like anyway, behind the scenes of the government. So I just thought I'd put that video out there. And I know it's quite a negative video, but this is what I've been thinking for the last few weeks, with all the politics going on in the UK. It's crazy to think that we had a Prime Minister and then she was out of the office after 45 days. And it's just crazy that she didn't get a chance, but like really she just proved that she wasn't capable of leading the country. But in the back of my mind is maybe it was everyone, well, all the people behind the scenes wanted Mr. Sunak in place, really. And now that we have a banker in place as with all the power, really, who's going to back against them? Because in my eyes, bankers always win, and it looks like they've won. No, well, they're winning anyway. They got a person in place to make all the decisions now. And to be fair, that title that I said, or that meme or whatnot, where they say keep them poor, and who's going to fight against who can fight against the big bankers? So they'll make all the decisions, and that is also affecting our hobby, really, which is silver and gold, precious metal collecting. And all it is now for me is a hobby. Investment is just not here for this stuff. It's just a hobby, I see it as now, for sure, because when digital currency comes into play, and they can control what we buy and see what we buy, who's going to cash out of this? You could probably cash out of it in the early days, but talking about once the central bank digital currency comes into place and all the countries has digital currency, who's gonna transfer all this out into digital currency really? So I know I'm just talking about out my head really, and it's probably talking all rubbish, but this is the way that I see it, and I wanted to record this even though my voice is still a bit dry and getting back to recovery. But yeah, I noticed that I got a few comments that I need to reply on my last video, and because it's been a few weeks now, but yeah, I'm glad to be making more content, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.